I'm not sure what to think about this month. Is it good? Is it bad? I'm not too sure. But we're gonna get into the trophies for these games. We got the game that everybody wants to try, but nobody wanted to buy at full price, Immortals of Aveum. Then we got Minecraft Legends, and we got a game I've never heard of, Skul the Hero Slayer. I had to look up and see what the game is. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I had a hell of a time trying to find trophy guides for these things. I had to go to achievement guides. I had to go to some sites that I've never, at least I don't think I've ever used here in this video, although one of the sites is really good and I do go to it sometimes. It's an interesting mix of games this month. I'm not sure if it's fair to say if it's good or bad. I'm not like completely sure. I guess we gotta look at the trophy guides to find out. So, PS Plus April update. Let's jump into it. This is the site I was talking about, Dayingles. I hope I'm saying that right. Dayingles? I hope so. He writes a lot of trophy guides for different sites, and he has his own site where they come from and people reference it a lot. I've been here before. So when we get into Immortals of Aveum, which is a game that I don't think got a fair chance, and as well, I don't think EA did their greatest marketing it. I don't think so. It's a magic shooter FPS. It sounds very interesting. It looked pretty interesting when I saw it, but I don't know why it didn't sort of pop off when it did. I wonder if there was some games that came out around the time that this game came out and that had an adverse effect on it. I'm just speculating, I'm not sure. But when we take a look at the trophy guide, it has that old school FPS kind of feel, like from back in the PS3 days when it comes to its trophy guide. You have 5 out of 10 difficulty, 30 to 35 hours estimated. You got 1 playthrough if you play it on Immortal difficulty, so the hardest difficulty. 2 if you decide to do an extra playthrough. And 8 missable trophies that you gotta watch out for. Has that old school feel. Like there's games that I get this feeling from, like Alan Wake. You have to play it on the hardest difficulty. When you played the Resistance games, you have to play it on the hardest difficulty. Gears of War, it has that old school FPS feel, except no crammed in multiplayer, thankfully. So, what are the missable trophies? They're here. Socialite, Family Business, Diplomat, Petite Bourgeois, Witch Taker, Out of Time, Foul Play, and Backtracker. Sorry if my voice is a little hoarse. I'm trying to make sure I don't get sick. I don't think it's working. Okay, for the conversation-related trophies achievements, Socialite is earned in the Immortals chapter, Backtracker is earned in the Magic Eaters chapter, and Foul Play is earned in the chapter Colossal. So you got 3 conversation-based ones. I guess they're missable, sort of. The definition of missable can be misconstrued sometimes. If it's contained in a single chapter and you have chapter select to go back to it, I wouldn't personally consider that missable, but okay. And then you have other conversation-related achievements earned by exhausting all dialogue from 5 different characters. What's really important here is that you must speak with all 5 of the required characters before completing the chapter Colossal. This one strains across multiple chapters, so yes, missable. Yes. As you complete chapters, more dialogue options will be added to each of the characters. By Colossal, all the dialogue options will be available for the first part of this. So again, speak to every required character and select each dialogue option in Colossal. After that, those trophies and achievements can be finished off in the epilogue. So there's an epilogue part to it. Okay. The dialogue choices in Colossal will be available in the epilogue. They will be replaced by new options. I guess that kind of makes it missable. And then you got collectibles as well that you need to go through. Opening golden chests, finding lore pages. Let's go down to the actual trophies themselves. Okay, here's Grand Magnus is the trophy for beating it on Immortal difficulty. And do they have like a gauge of how hard it is? It says here, there's a few parts that can be tough, but not overly difficult. So, okay. That's probably why it's kind of like a 5 instead of a 6 or a 7. Usually, hard modes tend to land in the 5 out of 10 range, like Uncharted, like Alan Wake. I even think Resistance was there for its hard mode. So, although Resistance 2 was kind of short, so you didn't have to worry too much about that. Then you got the Missable Trophy, speak to everyone at the party. Spoke to Silius Mead about every topic. Spoke to Ambassador Demoli about every topic. Magister Belming. What's up with these names? Hauser, that's a good name. Orphe. Okay, so you basically got to talk to a bunch of people. And if it spans across multiple chapters, well, yeah, for sure, then it's going to be missable. Then you got here, collect 50 lore texts for the Scholar Trophy. There are more than 50 of them, so you don't need to find them all. That's good. Happy about that. I always love that. Fully upgraded 1 legendary sigil for the Armsman Trophy, and then fully upgraded 1 legendary totem. Okay, so this is pertaining to your gear. Same thing, best dressed. Upgrade 1 legendary bracer. And then you got a bunch of things you need to obtain here. 3 legendary blue sigils, 3 legendary red sigils, green sigils, blue totems, red totems, green totems, defeat lots of enemies, up to 1,300 enemies you need to beat. And it says this is something that should pop as you collect all of the Shroud fans and golden chests after the main story. So while you're doing your cleanup, you can do this as well. You got skill tree stuff you need to do. All talents in the blue magic branch, all talents in the red magic branch, all talents in the green magic branch. There's the Shroud Fanes that you need for collectible reasons. Completed all Shroud Fanes, which are challenges, and there's 26 of them to complete. Then you got some endgame boss kind of stuff as well. Looks like this is pretty extensive. Open all golden chests in the main story. There you go. 120 golden chests. That's the big one right there. You got a couple of chapter trophies here. So, old school feeling FPS kind of trophy guide with some collecting to do. 120 gold chests. A bunch of other things you need to find as well. Has that old school feel. I'm interested for sure in checking this out. I'm not sure in what capacity I will check it out, but I am interested. It does scratch an old school itch that I've been, I'll say that like we don't get as many of these kind of FPS games as we used to, which kind of sucks. Because we got too many of them in the PS3 era, and now we got too few of them here in the PS5 era. So I might check this one out. I think it looks cool, and I think it's time to finally give it its respect that I think it deserves. Now I had to look up an achievement guide here for Minecraft Legends, and that makes sense, I guess, because it is a Xbox game. Although it is multi-platform, you can play it on PC, you can play it on PlayStation, I think it's on Switch, you can play it on there. But we're going to be checking the achievement guide for this one, and it's another one where you have to play on the hardest difficulty. I already checked because I was kind of like interested in it. This is another spin-off Minecraft game where you play it's more of a top-down kind of like 3D real-time strategy game. Not necessarily in the vein of like Age of Empires, not quite, but it has those hallmarks of it. And what they're saying here for this, you can do it in 2 playthroughs. I think 8 to 10 hours sounds a little generous. I don't think it's gonna take that long. I think it's going to be more if you're going to do 2 playthroughs. I don't think this game is that short where it's like, oh, okay, 6 hours on your first one, 2 hours, 3 hours on your second one. I don't think so. I think it's a little more than that. And of course, the achievement / trophy that you need to worry about is Legendary Hero, where you need to beat the campaign on Legendary. So you're going to have to do this on the hardest difficulty. Play through the tutorial, defeat the 3 horde bosses, and defeat the final boss in a single world without ever changing your difficulty. And the great thing about this is you can do this co-op if you want. The most helpful tip for doing this, whether playing solo or with friends, is to unlock all of the first golems in the world immediately. These are super powerful allies that respawn at your well at no additional cost when killed or lost. With them on your side, some good tactics completing the legendary campaign will be much more manageable. So there you go, you have a way to augment the difficulty and make it easier. That's good. So I was looking and there are online trophies, but they relate to like stuff like playing in co-op, playing in a private match. Like here, working together, play a game of co-op. I don't think there is local co-op, I'm not sure, but if it truly is an online trophy, then it's probably not local co-op. You probably have to do it online. I'm trying to find the other ones. No, that doesn't look good. So there's a possibly glitched trophy, Bounty of the Overworld. Gather 1,000 wood and stone and 125 iron, coal, redstone, and diamond in a single world. And it says, if this hasn't popped for you in the campaign, you can set up a private match by yourself. Once you load in, protect your base with 3 arrow towers and a carpenter hut. Then pause the game, switch teams, and do the same thing to defend your new base. Then just focus on mining all the resources needed for this achievement. Do not open any chests. Okay, I see. So there's a potential workaround if the thing has glitched out on you. That kind of sucks. Okay, here we are. They're hidden, which is weird. Win a custom versus game with 2 or more players that has walls and gates disabled. Win a custom versus game with 2 or more players that has tech unlocked. And at least 2 starting rezo. I think that's cut off. Okay, so there's versus mode stuff. There's probably another versus mode trophy or achievement in the list that I just missed. So there are 4 there. And then there's stuff like here, spawn 50 witches into a single world, build 10 cauldrons in a single world. These are all related to your units that you can use and put in your army when you're going invading. Yeah, it sounds cool. I wasn't necessarily interested in dungeons. This one doesn't quite move the needle for me either. But if you do like Minecraft, this game is free. So that's a good thing for you if you haven't bought it yet. So in a sense, now that I'm thinking, I kind of like the update. I think it's giving us some good stuff. The third game, however, I've never heard of, and we'll check that out right now. I wasn't able to find a trophy guide for this one. But we can take a look at the trophies themselves and make a determination. Just to give you guys a little bit of context, this is a roguelike 2D game, kind of like Souls feeling. It's got tons of bosses because if you look at the trophies, there's no shortage of stuff like this. Defeat Sword of Carleon, the first hero, without being hit. Defeat the Archbishop of Leonia, Order St. Joan II, without being hit. Defeat the Adjustants of the Goldmane Knights, the Liana Sisters, without being hit. So there is a lot of boss fights where you need to do it without getting hit. And if this is like a roguelike, Soulsy, 2D kind of game, I imagine this is going to be difficult. I can't give you a difficulty right now on this. There's a lot of trophies here that's like defeat the boss and then defeat it without getting hit. Defeat the Elder Ent Yggdrasil without being hit. Defeat the Distorted Goddess Chimeria without being hit. So get ready for a fight. Get ready to pull your hair out sometimes. This is a 0.9% on PlayStation. So this game looks like it's going to be difficult, like a challenge. I also heard with this game, if you want to skip all that, I don't condone this shit. But you guys, if you want to do it, I'm not telling you what to do. You do what you want to do. But you can get the Platinum easy in developer menu. It says, I wanted to talk to everyone about an easy way to access developer menu and indicating achieving the plat for this game. All you have to do is plug in a keyboard to your PlayStation. I did it to PS5, but I assume PS4 worked as well. Press the 0 key. From there, you can give yourself a number of items, skulls with re-rolling your skills, dark quartz money, 10k health. Also give yourself no cooldown on skills. You can also skip any chapter you want. I suggest an Arclic skull with the following: Death Trap skill. With other skills are really irrelevant with 0 cooldown activated. 8 Master Fight Helm, 1 Mana Bone, and then it says this setup will one-shot bosses, but you can also dashboard and close the game out if you're a hit for some reason. I know people did this with Jak and Daxter and wanted to let others know about the option for the game. I had a great time with it, love roguelikes as a whole, but you know some people can have a hard time with these games. Good luck to those of you who are going for the Platinum. I don't condone it. I'm not showing you this because I want you to do it. I'm just letting you know it's there, and I don't condone it. But of course, I'm very liberal when it comes to this stuff. You do what you gotta do. But if you want a quick Platinum, I guess that's the way to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to master this game. It looks like. I wish I could pin down a difficulty on it, but the only way that I'd be able to do that is if I played it. Let me know which games you're gonna check out here. For me, I think the one for sure that I'll probably end up checking out sometime or another has got to be Immortals of Aveum. I'm nostalgic for that PS3 era of FPSs, even though we got too many of them. Now we have too few of them, and I would love to go and try it out. Minecraft Legends, not my thing, and this roguelike 2D game, also not my thing. But let me know which games you're going to check out. I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions are magical and FPS. I guess that makes sense. You technically yourself you're playing an FPS game right now. Yeah, you are. But I hope they go great, and peace out.